Hey everyone, welcome to Neighbor Science, the only podcast about political economy and anime. I'm Ryan Salisbury.
I'm Chris Nivens.
And today, well, not today, but hopefully by the time you're listening to this, it'll be Halloween, aka...
So, give it a couple days.
Yeah, don't listen to this until Halloween. If you're listening now,
until
stop.
next week.
Because it's a damn holiday episode. We're talking about Halloween, aka All Hallows Eve, aka Samhain,
Samhain.
which means... Oh, whatever.
It's okay. And I came up with a funny...
Nobody speaks that dead-ass language anymore.
Yeah, I know. I came up with a funny joke, but it's completely topical, and it's haha, Samhain, that's what the Saudis did to that journalist, but it doesn't really work, so...
God.
Yeah. Also, fuck the Saudis.
Yeah, so today we're talking about everyone's favorite holiday topic, business.
Business.
Yeah. Halloween, like any other popular holiday, is a celebration that just totally by coincidence costs a bunch of money and gets more expensive every year.
Yep.
No idea how that
Can't get
happens, but maybe we'll find out today.
Maybe.
The average American now spends almost $87 on Halloween shit, with the total spending coming out to $9 billion.
Woo!
So probably not even close to Christmas level spending, but there are some unique industries that show up for Halloween.
Yep. $9 billion is a lot to go to a confusing party celebrating the sugar industry and either not even get laid for your trouble, or else you do get laid, but in an awkward, trashy way that you lie awake for months afterward wondering about.
Yeah.
Because you either itch a lot or you're pregnant.
Well, I don't have sex, so I wouldn't know.
That's fair. I'm just reporting what the big kids have told me. My parents do still tie my shoes.
So I ran the average spending per buyer numbers, like the $87 figure, and the other amounts. There was a table in this article that I found.
Oh, the $87 per Halloween.
Yeah, per
right?
buyer.
Per person per Halloween.
Yeah. I ran the numbers against the median household income to see the percentage of household income that people spend. So it tells us the relative power of the Halloween business to get Americans to part with their dollars. So if you look at it this way, it's actually very stable. It's hovering around 0.14% of people's average household income for most of the last 6 years. It goes up slightly, but not by much.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the stock market.
Yeah.
Or investments in general, I guess.
Yeah.
All they want
Got to
is
spend money to make money.
Exactly. Got to spend money to make
You got to spend at least $87 so that you can put fentanyl in your candy for the kids. And
You're right.
Step 2 and step 3, profit.
Mm-hmm.
How much have you spent on Halloween?
In the past?
Yeah.
Let's see. There's been a couple years where I was really trying a little too hard, but I didn't realize it at the time.
Yeah.
And I think I spent $150, but that wasn't for big fancy masks or anything like that. It was mostly just on just enough to build a costume, because I always build my own costume.
Okay.
And then also a couple handles of liquor.
Okay.
So it was.
I don't think the liquor counts.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wasn't sure.
It's not a Halloween unless it's Halloween themed liquor. Then it definitely counts.
Oh no, fucking way.
Okay.
No fucking way.
So and
Too sweet.
If it was Kraken, I think would count too, or that Crystal Skull
I
vodka.
think I did Kraken once. I actually like Kraken a little bit. But
I can't do rum.
Vodka shit.
I'm not a rum guy.
I haven't really done rum in a while, but Kraken is one of the few rums that I will still drink.
Yeah.
Unless it's really good rum.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Which is
I mean, I've had good rum too, and it's still just, I don't know, it doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, so when I was in Colorado, my friends and I went up to Breckenridge up in the mountains, and it's this kind of bougie little ski town, but they've also got a couple of cool breweries and distilleries there.
Okay.
And breweries and distilleries in Colorado are actually pretty legit. For those of you from Colorado who have drank stuff from Colorado, you kind of know what I'm talking about.
Hey, if Breckenridge secedes from the U.S., would it be called Breckenrexit?
That would be perfect. And they could probably sustain themselves as an anarcho-commune. But yeah, the Breckenridge distillery, they make really fucking good liquor. Even liquor you wouldn't expect to like. They have gin.
Like chartreuse?
I don't know if they make chartreuse, but
I still haven't tried that. I want to.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too.
Yeah, it's very appealing to me.
Yeah, you'd
green.
have to probably
I like green liquors.
Yeah.
Every green liquor I've tried, which is absinthe. So I like 100% of the green liquors I've tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some good ones, but they make very good rum, and they even make gin that you can literally like sip
Nice.
and enjoy.
I like gin.
Yeah,
Gin is
They
good.
make good fucking gin.
Yeah.
So if you're ever in the area for some reason,
Yeah, I was at my friend Tessa's house yesterday, and we gin came up somehow, and they were saying that like, gin and tonic was used to get. This might be like a myth or something, but it was used to get British sailors to drink tonic for malaria treatment.
interesting, right?
Because they wouldn't drink
Quinine.
it without
Yeah,
gin because it
Right.
tasted gross.
yeah, right.
So they just put some gin in it, and then they got all their
That
quinine.
makes sense. Yeah.
And also tonic glows under a black light.
Ooh.
Tess had a picture of it. It's pretty cool.
Speaking of Halloween depravities,
Which, that honestly could just mean that it's full of cum.
right?
You know.
Kind of like how pumpkin spice is horse cum.
Yeah.
I just got out of the slammer for saying that shit. But
I was trying to tell everyone the truth, but they locked me up.
the truth.
Yeah, I'm not a big Halloween spender. I like buying candy,
Yeah.
mostly to eat it.
Okay, so I have a very like troubled relationship with candy
Uh-huh.
because I have a blood sugar problem.
Oh, okay.
I'm not diabetic. It's similar, but it's not the same. But if I
Like
abuse
pre-diabetic?
sugar- it's like reverse diabetes, but if I fuck it up, I could become diabetic.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a very common condition.
It's kind of like racism. You have reverse racism.
right. You have right,
And then
right.
if somebody does too much reverse racism to you, you become racist.
right, yeah,
And that's why racism exists.
that's how it works.
Right.
right,
Exactly.
right. We all know this.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, so reactive hypoglycemia is a real problem, and if you guys ever have these kinds of symptoms that I have, then you might just want to get it checked. But often, like, Thanksgiving syndrome, when like you've had a big meal and then everybody just like unbuttons their top button and just like lies there and just is basically comatose and
Yeah.
it's like breathing heavy and shit because you're like your brain is just checked out and you are half asleep basically.
Right.
So that happens to me after almost any full meal. It's really fucking annoying, and it's and also if I imbibe in too much like straight sugar, in particular like refined sugar, like in candy.
Right.
If I have more than just like a small dose at a time with no other food involved, like if I'm just snacking on some M&Ms or something, and if I have a whole bag of fucking M&Ms, my sugar crash is going to be fucking horrible.
Okay.
Right? And there's not going to be a real high. Basically what it causes is like this like insulin problem where like just like insulin floods my system, it burns all the sugar in my blood, and then everything's gone. And then it's like, oh shit, oh no, I fucked up. And it starts doing various other workarounds, like it starts burning the glycogen in your brain, which causes weird shit to happen. So your cognitive functioning goes down. You become, like, your personality may change if it's really bad.
Dang.
Yeah, you can become more aggressive because you basically go down to, like amygdala processing as far as I remember. Anyway, that's a little tangent, but it's something I always have to tell people so that, like, if they offer me something nice that's very sweet, I generally want to turn it down.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Partly because at this point I've avoided like straight sugar so much in my life that it just makes me sick when I have it.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, so it's kind of like when vegans eat meat, they're just like, I can't fucking do this,
Yeah.
And it's I don't know why.
Well, I didn't have
like
I didn't
Alex
have a
Jones
problem
just
actually
now,
when I
but-
started eating meat again. It didn't bother me at all.
I think some people are just more sensitive to it.
Yeah. I think there's like a little bit of
because they're weak.
mythology around that.
Yeah, I think.
Because I had another friend who like he was vegetarian for I don't think it was as long as me, but a couple of years, and I saw him at the Pinch eating a burger,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, you started eating meat again?"
Uh-huh.
He's like, "Oh yeah, just like today, basically."
Oh, yeah.
Or yesterday.
And you start
And I was
spraying.
like, "Oh, aren't you like feeling sick at all?" He's like, "Nope." I ate a burger yesterday. I felt fine.
I feel great. I feel powerful. I feel like I'm gonna kill somebody.
I feel like I'm one of the two genders.
Yeah.
The correct one. Unlike those soy boys.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I pretty much just spent
But
it
I
on
love
candy.
chocolate.
I'm not cool enough to party, really. You know?
It's okay.
Um,
It's okay. You're saving the
Try-
rest of us the trouble of dealing with you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last party that I went to. This is already sad.
That's okay.
I mean, I'm not going to count weddings. I don't think that counts.
Those aren't.
It's not a holiday
Those
party.
weddings are funerals. You realize that, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you're going there to like mourn the loss of two people.
Oh, I just go there to get drunk.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do that too. Yeah.
I mean,
hey, it looks like a wedding.
Honestly, if
Cross
you
the
could get
street.
drunk at funerals, I would go to a lot more of those.
Yeah, yeah.
Be like, oh man, your grandpa died. Oh, I
Well,
miss that guy already.
yeah.
I mean, we've never met, but in
You know
spirit,
what he would want us to do?
you know what else
Crack open
could
that
be in
cask.
spirit? Me, my mouth, every tissue of my body could be in spirit right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Canadians actually are even crazier about Halloween.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, they spend an average of 170, and now that's Canadian dollars, but $170 on Halloween. Although I don't know how accurate this figure is because the article gives an itemized breakdown of this, and it adds up to like $300.
Yeah, I saw that. It was like they're like $169 on Halloween, and then like the first 3 items easily climb up to that number, and then
Yeah.
there's another 3 items that are almost that much.
Yeah. Yeah, like I kind of wondered if maybe some of the categories overlap, but it's like
I was wondering about that.
no, attending a party. I mean, I guess attending a party and alcohol could be like 100% overlap, but then it
Sure,
should
but-
be $77.
I mean, yeah, right. So
maybe they count costumes.
I was just gonna say like, so okay, so the 6 categories they have here are
Oh, they have costumes.
yeah, attending a party, alcohol, costumes, entertainment, decorations, and candy.
Now all of those are involved in a Halloween party.
Yeah, and so even if we took the most like mutually exclusive categories, that's most of them anyway. That's,
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, okay, alcohol, entertainment, and attending a party, those could overlap. But
Yeah.
even then, costumes, decorations, and candy, which none of those count as each other. There's no overlap there.
Right.
That's 52, 43, and 42.
So that's almost the whole.
Yeah, it's almost the whole
170.
batch right there.
Yeah.
And then those other ones have another, like that basically doubles it.
Yeah. So
I'm kind of wondering if it's because it's in Canadian dollars, and whoever did this maybe was not calculating
converting
them
back and
correctly.
forth.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
they just got mixed
could
up.
be it.
But I think ultimately what we're learning about Canadians is that due to their intensity of fervor for Halloween and to
they
their
just love Halloween.
their puerile pissant dollar, Canadians are like
Damn
proportionally
upstart dollar.
right.
The loony.
The loony.
What kind of stupid ass name for a currency is that? Come on.
Well, I can't even begin to
It's
explain.
the
I
loony
don't know.
left doing it.
The loony left.
Yeah.
But basically, Canadians are just weak in the knees when it comes to Halloween. You know, their weak dollars just flow
Yeah.
like blood.
I mean, they don't have a July 4th, I guess, so,
True.
you know.
Yeah. Because they didn't, fight
Or
for
Columbus
their
Day.
independence.
Yeah.
From
Or Thanksgiving.
Britain. Or
They got to roll all these
they have
holidays
a
into one
Canadian
thing.
Thanksgiving.
They have Canadian Thanksgiving?
You didn't know that? Oh shit.
No.
I guess because
What do they eat, quail?
I come from the Midwest. I knew this. No,
Is that a
it's
Canadian
the
bird?
exact same.
Oh, do they
fucking
eat
thing.
Canadian geese? That's fucked up, dude. I can't believe Canadians are so fucked up like that they eat Canadian geese for Thanksgiving.
They actually just eat Quebecois. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. And this is
I
from
love
this is from a
Canadians. They
business
actually
blog.
know
So
how
this
to
is supposed to be
party,
like
which is
telling
pretty
people
great.
like, yeah, this is the like market that you can expect to get if you want to start up a Halloween business. And they're giving these crazy wild numbers that don't add up.
yeah. So it's like,
Way to go,
what-
the Balance SMB, whoever you are.
Can we really trust you?
So speaking of Halloween businesses, the most Halloween business I think is Spirit Halloween, which is an LLC that many Americans are probably familiar with. It's a seasonal retailer, a store open only during the Halloween season.
Right. They're kind of like a pop up, right?
Yeah, they're pop up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And actually, the one near me now
Mm-hmm.
is in an abandoned Toys R Us. Funnily enough,
Haunting
which is-
the abandoned Toys R Us.
easily the largest retail space I've ever seen a Spirit Halloween store in. So those properties must be cheap as hell. They're like, yeah, if you don't mind having a bunch of Toys R Us branding on the store, you can have it for like $300.
It's an undead Toys R Us.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
usually it's like every other Spirit store that I've seen has been in like the darkest corner of the mall, in the store that is perpetually just anyone who
Right.
opens there
The
is
retail
closed
space
within a year.
is terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Like something about it just isn't right.
Yeah, Dulles Town Center. There was a store called Little Thingamajigs, which was actually fucking awesome. It's
Little Thingamajigs.
yeah, it's like just an Asian paraphernalia store. So they have like Hello Kitty stuff and
like stationery.
the thing that I liked was they had Gundam models.
Oh yeah.
So that's where you could go to get Gundam models, and they had like the perfect grade ones, like the big ones with the internal skeleton that you build it made it out of metal and shit.
Yep.
I like dreamed of getting one of those, and like when I finally got a job, and I had like an extra $100 to get a perfect grade Gundam, I went to the mall and the store was closed. But it reopened right near my current house.
Do they have Gundam?
Yes, they do.
Are you gonna get one?
No, I think I'm too old for that now.
Your girlfriend's gonna kick you out if you do.
I mean, I would keep it in the basement, where I already have a couple of Gundam action figures that I just haven't tossed out yet. But, you know, I don't need any more hobbies. I got plenty.
It's just like, never mind. Classic couple shit. It's like, well, I had this hobby that I'm not proud of it or anything, but anyway, so I keep it in the basement because like I love my girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's just how that goes.
You know, some people have building Gundam models.
Right.
Some people, like your neighbor, have kidnapping women and putting them in a
totally
trapdoor.
Cool, but definitely murderous neighbor. Yeah. Me, I don't know what I have. I have nothing.
Yeah.
I don't have anything.
Well, you got this. What you're doing right now.
This
Drinking.
is all I have. Drinking.
Yeah.
And speaking into a microphone alone and impersonating another person with the other microphone.
It's a cool trick that you pulled, inventing me before you were even on the podcast.
Yeah, you're very popular.
And Peter too, because Peter's not real either.
Peter's not real.
Of course.
Yeah, nothing's real.
Yeah. So speaking of things that aren't real, Halloween is the biggest holiday for candy sales. Although in 2015 it was surprisingly tied with Easter, which I didn't know anyone except the real freaks actually celebrated.
Yeah, Easter's kind of a poser holiday.
Yeah, I remember celebrating a few Easters in my family when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But it was basically just like they bought me a big basket of candy.
Yeah.
Like my family is not religious at all.
Yeah, that's actually very awkward that your family is not religious and they did Easter.
Yeah.
My family's very religious, as I think I've mentioned a few times.
I think they just like spoiling me.
We did Easter like pretty well. We weren't like obsessive, but definitely it was a very important holiday to us, you know, because it's like the punchline to Christmas in like Christian theology.
Oh, true, yeah.
Right. It's like he
How
was
much candy
born
did you buy,
and then
though?
he died, and then he kind of got out of that situation. Clever motherfucker.
Jesus, the first superhero.
Yeah, right. I'm so strong, I just didn't stay dead.
Actually, Mithra was the real basis for the myth of Jesus.
Is this your imitation of me now?
No, this is
That's
an
definitely
atheist that just
sort
learned
of- well,
about
yeah.
Egypt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, did you buy a lot of candy?
You know, for Easter, it was mostly like we didn't go like the fully, you know, because we weren't Catholic or anything. Because like Catholic Easter is like,
Oh,
you know?
okay.
But we weren't Catholic
Okay.
or anything, so we definitely did the egg and the painting and the fun little like activity, and like usually there was a service, but usually that was like, kind of as we also did Christmas often with like services and shit, like church services and stuff, which was we weren't trying to be like, you know, holier than thou or anything. Like we really were trying to meditate on like the truth of the like of God and like our relationship with Christ, and I can give my parents that, you know, because they were really trying to like do something real with that.
Minarchist Christianity.
Basically, as I've mentioned before, I think they're kind of like they don't realize that they're Tolstoyists,
Yeah.
you know, but they definitely fucking are. But like Easter was always just like such a fucking wet fart.
Yeah.
Like, Christmas is kind of dope if you can get beyond like all the jingoism and shit. You know?
Yeah.
But like Easter is just so fucking boring.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Outside of a strictly theological circle.
Yeah, other than getting candy, what do you got? You got Easter egg hunts? That sucks.
And you're like, and Jesus rose from the dead for your sins.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have a reading from a psalm by the pastor's daughter who you can't fuck. And you don't want to anyway. And then like another 30 minutes of fucking prayer and songs and shit.
Yeah.
And then you go home and you're like, well, is there an action movie on TV or I don't know,
All action movies are banned today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, basically.
There's only meditations on the Holy Spirit.
Right, everything's on Lifetime.
Let's see. So yeah, tied with Easter. I don't have the sales number, but you guys probably don't care that much. A Vox article from 2016 points out that soda sales have been declining due to the public realization that it's bad for you, but candy sales are continuing to grow.
Because people already knew that it was bad for you.
Yeah. And I would argue that soda actually is candy, and we should just change the terms to eating candy and drinking candy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because again, with my blood sugar problem, like that's 100% true for me.
Yeah.
Right. It's literally just sugar, like sugar liquid or sugar solid.
Yeah.
So unfortunately,
I was very good about not drinking soda for a number of years. Mm-hmm. I was just drinking like carbonated, like club soda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I would
fine.
At my most like ascetic, I guess, point in life, I was fully vegetarian, only eating stuff that's getting thrown away.
Wow.
And
Holy fuck.
I drank Sobieski and club soda.
Sobieski?
Yeah, it's a vodka.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
like, isn't that the
It's
name
the
of
best
that
cheap
actress?
vodka you can get.
Okay.
Yeah, it's bottom shelf, but it's very good.
Yeah.
And I think Bruce Willis endorses it or something like that.
Nice.
Just a random fact I learned about it. But
Nice.
yeah. But now, I mean, usually when I come here, I have to leave at like 6:15, but I don't stop working until 6.
Mm-hmm.
So I stop at McDonald's before I come over here.
Oh yeah.
So
Get yourself a little something.
yeah,
A little grease pie.
there's not really any other place that's not like far off the road
Oh,
that
yeah.
I can go to.
Yeah.
The other options are Burger King and Wendy's, and Burger King sucks ass.
Yes,
and
it
Wendy's fries aren't good,
Right.
and it doesn't justify the burger, like the additional cost.
Yeah.
Plus, apparently, like they treat their farm workers really shitty, but I'm sure all of them do
Wendy's?
that. Yeah,
Oh, that sucks.
yeah.
You know what we should do? We should really get a lot of those farm workers to start, I don't know, like hanging out and talking to each other about their problems
Mm-hmm.
and coming up with ideas about how to solve those problems.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to fucking, I don't know, rely on a major party
Right.
to like cut taxes for their bosses or something.
Yeah. Maybe kind of try to break into the farm industry, do some M&A, and
There's that.
get a
Yeah.
sizable company, and then like have a mandated union from like the the business charter. Like all of
Yeah.
our workers will be represented by a union.
Yeah. The easiest and probably least costly way to merge and acquire is through the use of firearms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
how our
maybe
government works.
maybe like a fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z. That'd be a good way to merge.
Yes. Yes.
I saw a video recently of like these two football players that they got a touchdown, and then two of them ran up and did the fusion dance together.
Hell yeah.
I was like, that fucking rules.
Yes.
Um,
We'll know your comrades this Halloween if you do a fusion dance at a party.
yeah, so that Vox article also like showed a visual representation of the amount of candy sold for Halloween each year, which was like a couple of 100,000 tons or some shit like that. And it would be the size of a giant monster jack-o'-lantern hovering over DC that would probably save us all by crushing most of the worst people on Earth.
Nice.
Yeah, they had
I would
the
be
picture of it
willing
was
to-
like right over the Capitol.
Yeah.
And it was like, hell yes, drop that thing.
Yeah. Just drop it. Yes. I would be willing to.
Hopefully it's just a candy-coated Moab.
right. We're gonna invent a new revolutionary idiom right now. I'm gonna say I would be willing to go under the pumpkin if it would mean the destruction of our enemies.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go under the pumpkin?
Yeah. So another Halloween industry, I guess this is the other very specific Halloween industry. Although I think now these places run all year round, which is haunted houses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's grown a lot in recent years. They're becoming like more elaborate and permanent. So before they would only be there during like the month of October, and the people that work there would be part-time. but now they're like they have full-time employees. Like 80% of haunted houses are run by full-time employees, and so many of us like realized this recently that haunted houses were becoming more popular when news of the scariest haunted house ever hit, which is run by some pervert. I don't know.
Pervert. What's this guy's name? Larry Kirshner? Or no, is that the...
No,
that's the... who is this fucking guy?
That's Trump's son-in-law, Larry Kushner.
Larry Kirshner. Yes.
Yeah. The
solving the Middle East crisis.
The
one haunted house
ambassador.
at a time.
Yeah, the ambassador of Israel. To the United States. Yeah, his name isn't in there. I just remembered it off the top of my head.
Oh, that's all right.
Have you ever been in one of those crazy haunted houses?
I made it through like a section. Sorry, excuse me. I made it through a section. Speaking away from the mic there. Made it through a section of a haunted house once, and I fucking hated it. Like, I'm already like an anxious and a person with like a pretty like shaky grasp on reality.
Okay.
I like just being real for you guys here. I'm like 2 steps away from being a fucking schizo or something. I don't really understand it, but like yeah, I'm just in my head all the time. So like going to a haunted house was like the most upsetting experience of my life. I was just like, I can't fucking like I know you're fake, but I don't really know you're fake, like
yeah, I'm kind of weird about that because like movies don't really scare me at all.
Yeah,
I don't think a haunted house.
Like, they creep me out.
I don't think a haunted house would scare me, but it would also depend on like how anxious I was going in.
Yeah,
because like I think I talked about this, but I cut it out and put it in bonus audio. I went to Disney World with my girlfriend's family like last year.
That's cute.
And they had like a fireworks show, and I had so much fucking anxiety about it. I think it might
fireworks.
be yes.
You were anxious about the fireworks.
Yeah, and then we went on Space Mountain. Is that the one? No, what's the one? Yeah, I think it's Space Mountain, the roller coaster.
Sure. I also don't like roller coasters.
And I had intense anxiety there.
Age.
Usually I love roller coasters, but this one was like it's an indoor one, and I think those ones are a little worse for me. But
yeah,
and then just like compounded with the fireworks show thing is weird. I don't really know what was going on, but basically I hated going to Disney World. I would prefer not to go back ever again.
I mean, to me it sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, you're mostly like walking to a place to stand in line.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
And then you go on a ride for like two minutes at most. Sometimes it's like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you go walk to another place to stand in line again. Jesus. And I don't like Disney that much,
Yeah, I'm not thrilled with any of it, really. Yeah. I'm not mystified by it.
Yeah. Universal Studios is kind of cool because it has Harry Potter World.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I like Harry Potter shit. Yeah. But it's still the same thing. It's like you're walking to go stand in line to be on a ride for like 30 seconds to 2 minutes.
Yeah. See, and this is where I'm going to potentially get in a bit of a tussle with people online. There's this common argument that, overpopulation is a myth, or it's like a, fallacious argument. And I agree from the perspective that they usually offer, which is that like it's just maldistribution of goods and food and stuff.
Right.
But I also don't see any fucking point in there being 7 billion people on the planet. If mostly it just involves everybody standing in line for bullshit,
But we could build more of that bullshit.
Yeah, well, right. And
but should we?
Right. So that's the thing is like, to me, that's falling back into like a particular pocket of liberal thinking as being like, well, we should just like produce endlessly. And I'm like, I don't fucking think so.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not that I begrudge anyone their children if they're going to have them, but like, god damn, like we're already coating the planet with our bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't think
like it can't breathe.
I don't think there's any defense to like we should depopulate the planet unless it's like maybe if you think that, then don't have babies. Exactly. That kind of thing's fine.
Yeah,
but I do think the more people you have, the more resources you have to use.
Exactly, and
that's the only extent to which the overpopulation argument is correct. Which is
we're in agreement.
More people equals more resources,
and you need more like urban planning.
But the people that say that the top 10 corporations are responsible for 80% of they're also correct for sure.
Exactly. And that's why it's like it's dicier than than people present it.
Yeah.
On either
that's why
side.
I just never defend the overpopulation thing.
Yeah.
Because even though it's like, I mean, there's technically a nugget of truth to that, but it's
Right.
the
It's
almost everyone who argues in favor of it are fasci. So
right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is that like the arguments for like population control and shit like that, that's fucking fasci as shit.
Right.
Right. But then the arguments against it are often, and it's not like I don't want to demand utopia, but yeah, like we kind of went over briefly just now, like it's just people are only addressing one factor of the population problem.
Yeah.
And saying, well, if we solve that, then it's fine, and we can just keep like breeding like rabbits.
yeah,
And creating whatever the fuck kind of domiciles we want. And I'm like, it's kind of give and take. You know, you got to give and take. So
yeah. I've
Eco-socialism.
gotten really
Social
careful
ecology.
lately about not using arguments that support ideologies that are opposed to mine,
right.
because online really encourages you to just own the other person any way you can.
Yeah, exactly.
So like
it's
today,
just domination.
today some dipshit, I have no fucking idea who he is. I've never heard of him, but he's a blue check guy. Said something like, it's sad that 15 years ago, if there was a terrorist attack, it would be our foreign enemies. But today it's like domestic terrorism or something like that.
Oh, I think I saw something like a reply to that floating around.
Yeah, so everyone that was replying to it was like, well, actually, there were domestic terrorists 15,
Right.
20 years ago.
Right.
But it's like, my response to that is, why is that sad? Like, why is it sad that if there's a terrorist attack, we don't have a foreign enemy to blame?
Right.
There's nothing sad about that at all.
That's just
it's fine. It doesn't matter
The way
who it is.
Yeah. It's just,
The only thing that matters is, like, why did they do it?
exactly.
And for foreign terrorists,
And how
it's
can we
usually
own them
because
online?
because we're destroying them and
Yeah.
fucking murdering their people.
Yeah, exactly.
With
They're-
domestic terrorists, it's because they hate black people and Jews and shit.
And that's, I mean, it's pretty much, that's when you know someone's a fucking liberal, is because
Yeah.
they're like, I wish that we could still outsource our violence. And
Right.
you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, and then like all the people that are responding, it
Yeah.
like in the way of, oh,
Yeah.
actually, no, we have like you're factually wrong. Like, do you not think that the thrust, like even if you were correct
Mm-hmm.
about that argument, do you not think that the thrust of that argument is fundamentally wrong and
Right.
there's no reason to challenge it with facts
Yeah.
because the moral precept of the argument is just horrible?
Exactly. It just comes from shit and goes to shit.
Yeah. So
Just like the Halloween industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another big Halloween industry is Halloween movies. So the new Halloween movie, as in Halloween,
Yeah.
Not like Halloween
the
movie,
title is Halloween.
but like the movie Halloween. Yeah,
Yes,
the title is Halloween.
right.
Correct.
the movie entitled Halloween.
The Mike Myers movie.
Mike Myers,
the,
but not
the one with Austin
but
Powers,
not
where Austin Powers puts on a mask and murders everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
which frankly would be pretty fucking
Yeah.
terrifying.
He gets tired of having
A dude
sex
in a
and
fucking
starts
cravat.
Yeah,
in
starts
a
having
mask,
murdering.
Just starts
doing some murders.
murdering. Yep.
So it earned almost a record amount for a horror movie, which is $77.5 million for the opening weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Second only to the It remake that came out recently. Did you see that one?
I was actually about to ask you. I did not.
I saw it. It was pretty good. It was enjoyable, but it was also like
Like a cozy fireside tale.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I have not.
lullaby.
I've not seen the original in its entirety. I've seen the end of it.
Uh huh.
So I don't know if this is in the original version, and I do know about the weird orgy in the book, which is fortunately not in the movie. But they did still weirdly sexualize the girl, like the main girl character, who's supposed to be like 11 or 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
So that part was kind of upsetting to me. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah. That's one of the weird things about the horror genre.
Yeah, it was almost as
There's
bad
a
as
lot of like
any
underage
anime.
sexualization. Yeah, well, yeah,
literally any
yeah.
anime.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it was awful, but anyway, have you seen Yeah.
The guy who played it was very good. The clown character was very good.
Who's that? Tom Hardy?
No, it was that kid from he's in We're the Millers.
I guess
I can't think of anything else he's in. But if you look at him, it's really funny because he looks like a fucking dork in real life, and in We're the Millers he plays a dork,
Okay.
and now he's a
Okay.
scary clown,
Scary.
and that's his biggest role. Yeah, it was pretty good. I have not seen Halloween, the new one. Heard it's also very good. Probably doesn't have quite the same pedo-y problem that it has.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Wait. Bill Skarsgård? Bill Skarsgård played the fucking clown?
yeah.
Yeah, he was in fucking what's it called? Hemlock Grove. That's how I know him.
Okay. What is
Anyway.
Hemlock Grove?
It was like this kind of like alluring fail show.
Okay.
Like you got into it because like the aesthetics were all right, and like it sort of half promised intriguing mystery and answers, and then it was kind of
Okay.
like how like Lost went and fizzled.
Oh yeah.
It's like I was like, oh, cool, werewolves and vampires and like weird medical experiments and shit in like a small town and a bunch of billionaires, but like none of it actually made sense.
Yeah.
So it's like you watch it and you're like, I don't know, you just have like you have to be kind of high to really, really truly just like enjoy it without reservation.
Oh well, then I
was
could
like-
never enjoy it. So
because you're never high. Yeah.
never. Is that kid related to Stellan Skarsgård?
I think it's the whole family is a bunch of fucking actors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I do like Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah.
He's in one of my favorite movies, Ronin. Have you seen
Oh
that one?
right. Yeah.
that's a good
You
one.
love that movie, man.
Yeah, that'd be a good Halloween movie. It's kind of Halloween-y. It's
Yeah.
like kind of
Yeah.
terrifying a little bit.
You know.
I guess. I don't know.
Pick your poison.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I'm the guy who watched the fucking Countess movie on Christmas a couple years ago. So Lady Bathory.
Oh,
The
nice.
Historical Lady Bathory,
Yeah.
right? I'm just watching this woman just like go fucking insane and kill young women and drink their blood and bathe in it and shit.
Now I've
for
heard
like Christmas.
supposedly Elizabeth Bathory was framed.
So that's actually part of the movie.
Okay.
Is that she wasn't framed, but she was driven to insanity
Oh, okay.
by like political rivals.
Yeah, I read something that
Spoiler
there's a
alert.
theory that like it was some rich man that was doing like murdering women, and
Oh,
they made up
interesting.
this story about
Yeah.
her murdering women and drinking their blood or
Right.
bathing in their blood and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, the movie, The Countess, basically, it's an actually interesting movie. It's obviously very dark and shit. And she, in the movie's interpretation of her life, she does develop an early kind of morbid fascination with everything. Because of like the context of living in like Transylvania, where like it's just medieval Transylvania, where like everyone's always killing each other, and there's
Yeah.
also like disease and death and rotting and everything like that all around you.
Yeah, there's always vampires flying around, so you got to have your
Right.
fully automatic crossbow,
Right, exactly.
to shoot them down out of the sky,
Exactly.
and then you get captured by the vampire queen or whatever. And I'm
And-
referencing Van Helsing, if you don't know.
Yeah. I was like, that's Van Helsing. Yeah. There's too many vampire stories now, and they don't all line up.
I gotta watch Blade again.
Oh,
I
hell
watched
yes.
it. I watched it a couple weeks ago.
That's
and
actually a good idea.
yeah, I
for this
wasn't fully paying attention to
Yeah.
it, but I was like, this movie's fucking awesome, man.
Halloween. Yeah.
I watched it again because of T from Champagne Sharks
Nice.
talked it up, and talked about how it was the first. I think he might have had Leslie Lee on the show for that, but they were
yeah.
talking about how it was like the first superhero movie, and I was like, damn, I gotta watch that. That sounds
Right.
awesome because
Right.
probably the best superhero movie too, and I think it is actually.
really-
yeah.
It seems like, I don't know, based on my recollection, it would age well.
I would say. No, I haven't seen The Crow recently, so maybe that would be a good one to watch too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because that's also, I definitely consider that a superhero
yeah, I
movie.
feel like it's like you got to watch like these classics and
The
like,
early ones, like the
Yeah.
earlier ones, are much better than all
Yeah.
the new shit, except for Thor Ragnarok, and I think Captain America: Winter Soldier is really good. I like that
I haven't
one.
seen that one yet.
Oh, that one's I liked it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a pretty good one because it's a good action movie.
Yeah.
A lot of most of the other Marvel movies are not very good action movies.
Yeah.
They're telling way too much story, but the story's not good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I would say I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
In general.
I kind of regret not seeing Venom because everyone says it was really fun, but I've kind
Haven't
of sworn
seen
off
that yet.
Marvel movies. So
Yeah. Yeah. I just can't really anymore.
yeah,
There's just too much. And like, yeah, I think that like Marvel got addicted to the ensemble.
Yeah.
You know? And so like half of the fucking presentation in the movie, like half of the scenes is just like another character that you're supposed to recognize sort of just showing up and like throwing out a one-liner
Yeah.
as they like bash someone's face in.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, you're here. Okay, cool." And then you know, this fucking just superhero business cards just like flying all over the place, you know.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the whole movie setup is designed to make nerds that love comic book characters be like, "Oh, it's that guy!
I recognize
oh,
that."
shit!"
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't do it anymore.
I don't like that ever. So
Yeah.
it's annoying.
I would rather characters be in there because they matter to the story and
Exactly.
stuff like that. I don't know.
Exactly.
So we're a little bit off track, but not too bad.
You know,
We're still talking about movies. So Halloween, abnormally for a Hollywood film, actually made a lot of money. It only cost $10 million to produce, so it made $67 million in
bad.
profit.
It's not
which,
bad.
yeah, if you don't know, Hollywood does like sets up their accounting. This might be like common knowledge by this point, but maybe some people don't know.
I already know what you're about to say.
Yeah, Halloween. Hollywood does their accounting such that like they make it look like it costs a lot of money so that they can report low profits, and I think the reason is so they can avoid taxes,
Probably.
basically.
Yeah. Bunch of crazy globalists.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty impressive for this movie to be near record setting or whatever. But it's also worth remembering that movie ticket prices are subject to inflation, like everything else, which means that a movie in 1980 would only make a half or a third of what a movie would make in 2018 with the exact same size audience.
Very interesting.
So if 1 million people saw a movie in 1980, it would make like $6 million or so. $6 a ticket for a new release. Today it's like $12 a ticket for a new release, to make about $12 million. So
Man, oh man.
record setting,
Yeah.
but it's like the same number of people, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Plus, there's more theaters now than there were in 1980. Probably,
Yeah. I mean, they got to keep setting those records.
or more seats anyway.
Gotta keep
they
ratcheting it
can
up.
put more asses in seats now than they could in 1980.
True.
And it's not because the movies are better.
Because there's more people now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie might have been good, but
Yeah.
most of the movies that make a lot of money are not that good.
I'm really curious, speaking of like their profits and like the way the theaters are set up now and all this shit and like how much everything costs. I also speaking of like, soda and candy and snacks and shit like that, like I'm really curious, all these theaters that fucking charge you like what, $10 for a fucking bucket of popcorn or something, on top of your like $20 movie ticket.
Yeah.
You're just like, Jesus, like I sold a kidney to get here, but like, did the popcorn in 1980 taste better? Probably.
Well, the reason they charge so much for concessions, right? It's because the movie studios take almost the entirety of the revenue from ticket sales, and they mandate the cost of the ticket.
That was my assumption.
Yeah. So they have to make up for it with concessions. So that's why all these theaters now are serving beer, because they can make a lot more money on the beers.
Yeah.
And people will buy more of it than soda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's interesting too, and this is just a total aside because it's like movie industry shit, is like now we have, as I understand it, we have these like extremely large digital files that they pass to you, like theater to theater, from the film fucking producer or whatever, the studio or whatever, to play it on the big screen in like high resolution.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought they still use film for that.
Do they still use film?
I have no idea.
Well, the reason that I'm pretty sure they now use some kind of digital shit, or at least maybe it's just like more durable film. I can't tell. I don't know. Nothing's real. But in the old days, they would pass the reels around, and these reels would have to be, they would be reproduced from the original reel, right? Blah, blah, blah. Then they would be, like the copies would be passed to the theaters. So this is one reason why like hype was actually important in the old days. versus now, hype is just fucking fake as shit. Nothing fucking matters now, because distribution is so easy. In the old days, the first theaters to show them would be the freshest reels.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So you get the cleanest play,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because they're playing on these films that could melt, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so then you pass it around down to like the mid-sized cities, the smaller cities, right? So like it was like a bit of a domino or a cascade, right? Then you get down to the small towns, the reel's been fucking beat up, and that's where you get those spots and shit that you see in the classic films.
Okay.
It was just worn out by then because they'd been playing them all in like New York or Chicago, and then in the next city down, and so forth, right?
And then eventually, you're watching the movie and it goes, "Pew!" and then monsters come through the screen.
There's that too,
or robots.
Yeah, and you hope that you're in the theater that happens to. Yeah.
Whatever was on the screen before it stopped, that's what's coming through the screen to attack you in the theater.
Yeah. And you
Evil
just hopefully,
clowns,
yeah,
Mike Myers,
of whatever variety, yeah.
Oh man, what if they made a Halloween crossover with Shrek? So it's Michael Myers as Shrek.
Oh my god! I don't
Woman's
know.
running away, and she's like, "Who are you?" Shrek.
I feel like my brain went to like, oh, that's a pretty good encapsulation of everything in American culture, And then I was like, oh, I guess that's just kind of like incel culture, like he's kind of lame and dumb and green, but but he's also frightening as fuck.
Do 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 do. Donkey.
Okay. So.
Yeah. Where'd my mouse go?
Yeah.
So inflation. So the current Halloween favorite, I think, has got to be Hocus Pocus, the Disney movie from the 90s, which I actually like. That's out of all of the Disney movies that exist, that's probably one of my top ones.
I don't
have you not seen it?
I'm sure I've seen it.
Okay.
It's just
you probably saw it as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't like think of movies, except for like obviously like Marvel superhero movies. I often don't think of movies as like which studio put them out, even though there are distinctions.
Yeah, I mean, I think Disney has a really specific aesthetic that I just usually don't agree with.
I think it was old enough that I just was like, sure, that's a movie,
Yeah. I mean, I definitely watched a lot of Disney movies as a kid, but eventually I stopped watching them because they're for kids.
You discovered
they're made for kids. I probably would still watch a Goofy movie. That was my favorite one.
That was actually
that was a funny
I like
one.
that movie.
Yeah,
and it taught you the power of like.
I always remember that scene where they're in like the Chuck E. Cheese like place, and he's like, "Hey kids, who's your favorite possum?"
Oh yeah,
that shit is so funny.
Oh my
god. Yeah. So Hocus Pocus. Yeah, it's a good one. It's got Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker.
Right.
And some other people. Did you like Hellboy?
Yes.
Abe Sapien is in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guy who plays Abe Sapien.
He was also in Frasier.
And oh really? Oh yeah.
Wow,
And
nice.
in The Shape of Water, the fish fucking movie.
Was he the same fish again?
Yeah, that was the sequel to Hellboy. It was a spinoff,
Yeah.
about Abe Sapien.
Yeah, fish fuckers.
Finally getting to fuck a human woman.
More than meets the eye.
Yeah. So Hocus Pocus had a disappointing opening. Its initial opening was only $36 million. I think the cost of the movie was like 28, so it barely made a profit at all.
Damn. Jesus Christ.
But I don't know about between 93 and 2000, but in the 2000s it started getting much more
sales.
popular and did a lot of high numbers in DVD sales. They were making $3 million a
It's kind
year.
of like a sleeper hit.
Yeah.
Like more of a DVD. I feel like the Hocus Pocus thing, there's so,
I think people just didn't realize it was good at the time.
Yeah. Also, the theater experience versus the home TV experience.
Yeah.
Like, we know that that's a qualitative difference.
Yeah.
Right? And that matters. And I feel like
Right.
Hocus Pocus really is just like a cozy hanging out at home kind of movie.
Definitely.
Like, you want to hang out with, like, your boo or your friends or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck, or get stoned and watch it alone.
Yeah.
With your pets.
Diane and I
you
play
know?
a drinking game when we watch it.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's that kind of movie, you know. Whereas
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, if you want to watch, like,
We have to cut out a lot of the rules though, because like some of them, like there's two that I've seen. One of them is like you'll barely get a buzz,
Yeah.
and the other is you will get alcohol poisoning and die.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because some of them are like, the one that's stronger is like based on liquor shots,
Oh. Yeah.
and
oh, Jesus.
Diane and I were looking at the list and we're like,
That is foolishness.
okay, so just on the ones where you take like a sip of liquor, you would be drinking like 7 or 8 shots.
Yep.
And then there's 3 more categories after that have the same number of stuff in them
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
larger amounts of liquor.
That's yeah. Those rules are designed by people who are hoping to get laid before they pass out.
Rapists.
That's one word for
Or
it.
reverse rapists.
Reverse rapists. I hope I get drunk enough that I can't help myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun movie. And so this year they had a 25th anniversary thing. So they had this whole big event for it.
I mean,
So
cool.
it was
Cool.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Freeform, which used to be ABC Family.
Okay.
They did this event, and so they brought a bunch of the old cast, like the main, like the protagonists were all on there because they're not as big as Bette Midler and what's her fuck, Sarah Jessica Parker. Is it Bette Midler? Now I'm doubting myself. I
feel like it was.
No, I think it was. Yeah, I always mess her up, and I can never remember the third lady's name. It's like, see, I'm just thinking Kumail Nanjiani because that's the closest. Her name is like Najian
right.
something.
Let's look it up.
And she was the only one of the witches that actually showed up there, probably because she has less name recognition. Sarah Jessica Parker just kind of phoned it in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you're actually. I see why you were thinking. So it is Bette Midler, obviously. Sarah Jessica Parker, yes, and Kathy Najimy.
Najimy, yeah,
Najimy?
yeah.
Apologies to Kathy for
Kathy
fucking up her name.
Nanjiani,
Yeah.
starring on such hits as Adventure Time. That's the only one I can remember he's on, for sure. Silicon Valley.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So they had this event. So they talked about the movie production, which is pretty cool. They had like a cool section on like how they did the flying scenes, which I think is part of the reason the movie is so fun to watch, is because the flying looks really real, and it's because they use like actual they had
witches.
like gantries with like harnesses and wires, and
nice.
so they were like moving them
Very
around
serious
and stuff.
business.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
really serious about it, and they were like apparently
So they were like only slightly better than Tesla and everything that Elon Musk has ever built.
yeah.
You could just kind of like prop this up on some wires, make it look like it's moving around real fast.
Make it look like you launched a spaceship.
Yeah, right.
You didn't launch that fucking car into space. What a load of shit.
Yeah.
That ain't real.
From a flat Earth, that's impossible.
Shit. Yeah, there's not even
Yeah.
real space out
Right.
there.
It would have punctured
I don't
right through the
believe in it.
ceiling.
Yeah.
The moon
firmament.
ceiling. The firmament, indeed,
Yeah.
yes. Indeed.
But yeah, that part was pretty cool. They had a costume contest
Oh,
with
that's fun.
the 2 women from the Osbournes were judges for some reason. I have no idea why. Maybe just because they like Halloween shit or Hocus Pocus. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, like, I mean,
And they also had
gothy shit, metal
and the
shit.
main judge was someone from RuPaul's Drag Race, which that makes sense, I guess.
yeah,
You know.
for like, yeah.
They like dressing up.
Exactly.
Same kind of thing,
yeah.
you know?
Like cool.
Gotta
witchy
evaluate the
shit,
best dress-up
you know?
thing.
Yeah, it's
They had a cool-
fun.
there was-
kind
there
of
was-
kitsch, but it's not too kitsch.
Yeah. There was one cool costume by some fucking designer. Who cares who it was? But the woman had like this. It was like a weird looking thing on, and then when she bent over backwards and like walked on her hands and feet, you know,
Like crab walked.
she turned into a spider.
Holy shit!
So the costume made her look like a spider when
That's
she did
fucking
that.
awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Did she puke pea soup?
Yeah, I missed a lot of it because I was like walking in and out of the room, so I don't even know who won the costume contest. But the weirdest thing is they had a performance from Emily Estefan, like Gloria Estefan's daughter,
Oh yeah,
and she played Black Magic Woman, which I guess makes sense, but like,
maybe that was the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's a Santana song, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know.
I mean, it's related through Latin pop,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Maybe they were
Strange.
like, let's just throw somebody fun in there, and that's
Yeah.
what came up.
Why not have Danzig go on there?
Right?
The original horrorcore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Play Skulls.
Just
Fucking love
go
that
all
song.
out. Might
Yeah.
as well.
I mean,
Just fucking,
the witches had to have put some skulls on their wall,
yeah.
Let's see. Okay. I think that's all I have for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think at this point we've talked about the business, but everyone who is anyone who also likes Halloween or is even just listening for the laughs, you always talk about your past Halloweens. Like, first people are like, what are you going to do for Halloween?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I am not doing anything for
Yeah, well, how about we
Halloween.
do that first? What are we doing for Halloween?
Well, so I think I have like 3 different plans, but none of them are especially extremely Halloween-y.
Okay.
One of them is like a friend of mine who lives nearby. She and her friends are throwing some kind of party, but I think it's just going to be like a generic party.
Uh-huh.
So it'll be just like, like everybody's kind of cute and probably just like some like masquerade masks and shit like
Yeah.
that and some drinks and punch and whatever. And I'm thinking like that's a pretty safe start. And then the Red Derby where we went,
Okay.
last week, 2
Yeah.
weeks ago.
I keep forgetting. I keep thinking it's Red Hen or Red Chase or
Hen,
something.
Yeah, Red
Red
something.
Scare.
Red Scare. So the Red Scare. So they're throwing like a Motown Halloween, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
They're playing some classics and shit like that.
Okay.
And I think that's like just
Zoot
the
Suits, is
theme
that a
for
Motown thing?
it. Fuck.
I don't know. We're going to get in trouble for
exposing
this
my
either way.
ignorance. Yeah, exactly. I won't even touch that. I can't remember. But yeah, so they're doing a bit of that, and I RSVP'd as like a maybe, I think.
Uh-huh.
Just like because like it's a bar, they're throwing a thing.
Yeah.
It's a theme, whatever. Like if I'm in the area at the time, maybe I'll go there.
Yeah.
And the staff is great, and it's probably going to be busy, so lots of people to talk to or ignore. And then also one of my friends has like his final shift at some bar that's closing,
Okay.
and he wants me to come around, and so I'm like, probably free liquor,
Yeah.
If they're closing, they're probably giving that shit away.
Yeah.
So, other than that, I don't know. I have not planned a costume because that ties into my past with Halloween. But what are you doing?
Well, you laid it on pretty thick about the having friends and
Oh, I didn't
getting
say I
invited
had
to
friends,
parties
it's just
and
people I know. That's different.
So I don't really have any plans.
Mm-hmm. But you do have a girlfriend, which I don't have.
Yeah,
You're
that's
still
true.
way ahead
That's
of
true.
me.
Yeah. I am planning to dress up as the scariest thing I can think of, which is the disruption of norms in this country.
Ooh, sexy
And the loss
disruption
of civility.
norms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which we really need to just get back to normality, I think.
Right.
Because everything was great before. Before the big orange Cheeto got into office.
Right.
Cheated his
Right.
way.
The
He's the pretender to the throne of the rightful heir, Miss Hillary Clinton.
yes.
But yeah, just handing out candy to kids in the neighborhood. I think there's only like a handful of kids in our neighborhood, really, because the first year we lived there, quite a few came by, and then last year I remember, like I think we had like 6 people the whole night.
6, damn.
Yeah. So usually Diane and I just watch Hocus Pocus on Halloween. And,
See, there you
yeah.
go. It's like I
Get
said.
drunk.
It's a cozy little
Yeah.
hang out at home kind of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might try to convince her to watch something horror, but
Mm-hmm.
it's weird. She tells me she used to be really into horror movies, and then she went to college and had like a weird like mental health thing, and
yeah,
now
I
she's
get
like
that.
terrified of scary movies. Like
Yeah.
can't even watch previews. Like she covers
Wow, damn.
her ears and eyes
Wow, damn.
when a scary movie preview comes on.
Yeah, I can sympathize. I used to be a little more durable myself, but like, shit happens in your life, and you just kind of get more anxious or whatever may come, and there's certain things that like it may not be a consistent trigger or anything, but like I'll just like suddenly just feel like extreme dread.
Yeah.
And not in a fun way. Like there's
Yeah.
fun dread where you're like being entertained.
Yeah.
And there's like, I have to get out of this fucking room right now.
Right.
And it's like, it's really distressing because I'll be like, I know that this is not a problem.
Right.
But my emotions are being played upon, like I'm being stimulated in a bad way, you know. And you just have to be aware of that. So, you know, those of you who are out there this Halloween and you feel a bit of that, like, don't be afraid to just leave the fucking room.
Yeah.
Like, take care of yourself.
Yeah. Go to a different place.
Stay safe. Be happy.
Smoke a joint.
Exactly.
Snort some Adderall.
Right. Unless those things make you worse, in which case don't do those things.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably prescribing the two worst things for
exactly.
people with anxiety.
Me and Ryan have established that we have like opposite reactions to
Drop
things.
some bars in your lean and
like he's
and
cool
sip
with
on
drugs
it.
and I just can't handle them.
Yeah.
So it's like if you do better with the drugs, then go for it. If you don't, like me, then like stay away from that shit.
Yeah.
You
Personally,
know,
I'll
take a
be
nap.
sipping on lean and smoking on Kush. But you know, whatever's your thing.
Whatever's your thing.
Oh
yeah, we were talking about like this fucking Twitter meme that was like, you know, your Halloween costume should be sexy plus your like greatest fear.
Yeah.
And mine was sexy total loss of self-control, which is apt.
Yeah. And mine is sexy, the future of reality.
Which is, I mean, it's an automatic win.
Yeah.
Because it's always going to suck.
Yeah. I wish I could have lived in like 1400 when shit was starting to get better. That would be awesome.
14. Well, aren't you Irish?
No. I'm English.
You're English, you motherfucker! Get the fuck out of my house! You tricked me.
Salisbury's not an Irish name.
It could be. Could have been.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm part Scottish.
A little this, little that. Oh yeah. Well, so am I. Okay, so we're okay. We're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we are gonna have a fist fight.
Well, we can do some heroin and make it up.
Yep.
You know.
That's right. We'll watch the babies crawling across the ceiling and do it that way. Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, in the 1400s, though.
I mean, I don't know my history that well, so I'm just thinking like
okay. I mean, okay.
The tail end of the plague.
I was just gonna say.
That's what I'm thinking.
I was actually gonna touch on that directly because, like, there was, speaking of horrors and shit, you know, the plague was fucking awful.
Yeah, you know, it's a real horror, not a scary clown. The Black Plague.
The Black Plague. Fuck your fucking clown. How about 1 out of 3
You think
people
5 kids
everywhere
getting
just
almost murdered is
dying
bad?
miserably?
How about millions of people being killed by rats?
It's like, oh, my armpits are black and they hurt. That's weird. Also, a bunch of other places in my body. I'm just going to lie here until I literally rattle to death. And
yeah. If you're lucky, you just get disfigured for life.
Right. Nobody wants to talk to me because obviously they'll just... Yeah. There was one village in England that is famous and like commemorated to this day as like a historical site because they quarantined themselves and they wouldn't let anybody in or out.
Nice.
And they all fucking died.
Oh shit.
Yeah. They were like I mean that right now is just like that's like anarcho-communist heroism is like nope. We are a cell. We're going to operate as a cell. This is a contagion, even though we don't understand it.
If the FBI is listening, we are not a cell. We're talking about those other people.
Yeah, these other people in this place in England, many hundreds of years ago, afflicted with the Black Plague. And yeah, basically, like, it destroyed every last living person in that village.
Damn.
Because, fortunate that they didn't let anybody out, you know?
Uh-huh.
They were just like, nope, we kind of get it. It's just over. And
yeah.
If anybody survives, great, but like we're just going to sit here and just wait.
You know, it's crazy. You know how there's all those things about like how meat is full of different like diseases, so they have to use antibiotics on it and stuff.
Meat, yeah.
You know, one of the diseases that's in meat, Yersinia pestis.
Oh yeah,
the Black Plague
shit.
virus.
Ooh,
so
scary as fuck.
So if we ever run out of antibiotics or anything like that, we're probably going to get a Black Plague going.
Oh yeah,
pretty quickly.
We're gonna get a bunch of shit going.
Yeah,
and this is actually what this touches back on your like basic categorical rejection of Anprim thought.
Yeah,
which is like, yeah, as soon as we go primitive, like we'll all die of some kind of horrific pandemic.
Yeah, here's
or
the
several
thing.
At the same time.
The only reason we're able to have concentrated populations is because of modern medicine.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically the only thing holding the state together.
Yep.
In terms of being wiped out by a deadly
that.
Disease.
Yep.
Almost immediately.
Yep. And that's
it used to happen all the time to ancient states. They just get wiped out by a disease.
I was just going to bring up like the Spanish flu of post World War I. You know, is like that was an example of how even in what we would consider modern society, it still fucked us hard.
Yeah.
Like the whole fucking global system was just like brought to its knees
Yeah.
by a post-war pandemic, and it was ridiculously powerful, and nobody could do shit about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and you think about like
yeah, that was
just
100
your
years ago.
grandparents.
100 years ago, it was nothing.
Your grandparents were the first generation that had the polio vaccine.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So before that, like, what was it? Like a third of the population would get it. Would like,
it was a high percentage.
yeah, some huge number of people would become cripples because
Yeah.
of polio.
Yeah, and a bunch of other diseases like measles and shit that we
Yeah.
just like laugh at now.
Yeah.
But like in Indonesia, I knew a kid who fucking had polio and he
Damn.
was crippled for life. Like his leg did not fucking work.
That sucks.
Yeah. And it was like, yeah, it was so shitty, especially because he is in a labor-based economy.
Yeah.
Right? So he's got to work fucking
And
double or
that is
triple his
currently
ability.
preventable disease.
Yeah. You know, he's
There's
got
no reason at all for anyone to get polio anymore.
Feel
We've
bad
had
for
the
the guy.
vaccine for it for like 100 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, I really agree with those takes about any deaths that are preventable under capitalism are the fault of capitalism.
Pretty much. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
put
It's a
the-
maldistribution issue.
Yeah, they put
Yeah.
the average or the like annual deaths at like
Mm-hmm.
what is it, 20 million a year?
Yeah.
preventable
There's
deaths.
a ton of preventable
it's-
deaths.
it's a huge
It's
number.
a ton.
Yeah,
And even there's a lot of
that's the
there's
real
also
horror
a lot
for
of
Halloween.
Like, yep. Yep. It's yeah. We're bringing you guys like the realism right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like a lot of those preventable deaths, and they are often miserable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, are preventable by capitalism, or in many cases, and probably a lot of things that are not counted as those millions of deaths each year. They're things that like you could have a shot at stopping. They're not necessarily like easily preventable or anything like that. But
Yeah.
you could have a shot at stopping it if you had just the right medicine or
Yeah.
like the right set of techniques applied. But you're not rich enough to get the doctor who would otherwise do it almost for free because it's a fucking doctor and that's what they care about. But they can't get the supplies because they have to pay a bunch of fucking people, and the insurance companies are just like shivving everyone for money. Yeah. Burn down the insurance companies.
Yeah.
Start a fucking health credit union instead, which is basically the idea that that insurance companies take credit for, and just do something else. Just do like a communal fucking pool,
Yeah, that's a hard one because
I'm not saying it's simple.
Insurance companies have a huge advantage from their size because they can negotiate better prices for
Yeah.
Medical treatment.
Yeah.
I mean, they still inflate the price.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's like a weird thing because
It's a shadow world.
on one hand, they want the prices to go up
Right.
overall because it raises the barriers of entry for
Right.
competitors.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, they want them to be lower than their competitors
Right.
due to their size.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. So I think we're probably pretty close to time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so
do you want to talk about the last thing?
Oh yeah, I just literally today, saw this hilarious news article
Yeah.
where apparently a couple of Florida schoolgirls,
Ooh, baby.
aged yeah, right, yeah.
God, terrible.
Speaking of the horror genre sexualizing minors as a fucking habit.
That's an especially bad joke because they're 11 and 12.
Yeah, so these girls, they're 11 and 12, schoolgirls in Florida, and of course, we all know Florida's a fucking shit show already. They've been arrested and accused of plotting to kill classmates in a satanic rite. Now, the first thing that popped into my mind when I saw this fucking, headline was like, okay, this is another like news media satanic panic thing.
Yeah.
Like they probably were just joking around. But I'm just going to like read from this BBC article. Police say the pair, 11 and 12, told officers they were Satan worshippers, which we totally believe, and they planned to kill at least 15 students at Bartow Middle School. On Tuesday, they were searched by police, who found weapons, including a butcher's knife, okay, pizza cutter, okay, and scissors. They told investigators they planned to drink the blood of their victims and, in quotes, possibly eat their flesh. I mean, props to these kids.
I mean, it sounds like they're just going to eat a little bit of it.
Yeah, just
so
a little
what's
nibble.
the big deal?
And
I'm curious how they were going to use the pizza cutter.
I was
That's the really odd one out
wondering,
there.
like, were they gonna like like stab the person and then use the pizza cutter to divide them up into like equal segments.
Yeah. Well, once we cut their flesh off, we need
Right.
to cut it up into even slices.
Right.
And what better way than a pizza cutter?
Cannibal socialism.
Yeah. Pizza is a very similar viscosity to flesh, I think.
Basically.
Yeah.
The two girls were waiting in the toilet for younger students that they could, quote, overpower to be their victims, police
Yikes.
said.
Oh, police said, okay. That's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
not true.
It apparently officers, and again, cops are, cops, but officers had also found a handwritten note somewhere, I guess, saying, in quotes, "Go to bathroom to kill." Like these fucking tweens are like, let's kill some kids.
Yeah.
Like we're angry motherfuckers in
I
Florida.
say let them.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, There's that whole overpopulation thing.
Exactly,
So
exactly. And
who better to thin from the herd than some
weak children.
weak
in
children
Florida.
in Central Florida.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I mean,
Yeah, this place is like really the dead center of Florida.
Oh,
It's like
really?
Tampa's kind of on the
like
west
right in
coast.
the
Yeah,
middle.
yeah. Look at the map. It's like dead.
So it's like you
center.
take everything that's bad about Florida and you just make it more like horribly mundane
See that?
and like hillbilly. Oh damn! Yeah, that's right in the middle.
That's like almost the most in the middle you could
Nothing going on there.
be.
But I guess
yeah.
these girls were getting into the Halloween spirit, and now they've got a fucking criminal record.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
I just hope they were able to absorb somebody's mana before they went into the clink.
Yeah. I mean, I like Satan. I agree with all his ideals.
Right.
I think he's a good dude.
Eloquent speaker.
Very misunderstood.
Right.
Kind of hot.
Yeah. Got
At least according to the
got a
Doré
controversial
representation
record.
of him.
But
He's like a sexy soy boy kind of. Yeah.
the horns thing really does it for me.
Yeah.
It's a good look. It's a
Makes
good
me
look.
Randy. So I guess that's all we have.
Yeah. We just don't have a lot going on this week and wanted to
Yeah.
take it easy, and Halloween was convenient,
Yep.
but
Yep. And I think we're doing a news episode next week.
yeah.
We're going to continue to take it easy.
Yeah. It's
We're not trying to do work.
been kind of
We're an anti-work podcast.
Yeah, it's been kind of intense lately, so
Yeah.
we're trying to like chill, but I think everyone, especially those of anybody who plans to be voting in the next couple of weeks, is probably going to appreciate just like some chill.
Yeah.
So we're offering that.
Yeah, we'll give our voting recommendations
Yeah.
pretty soon.
Yeah.
Just a little preview. Definitely vote for Corey Stewart, the Nazi who's running in
Right.
Virginia.
The Nazi.
That guy rules. He's great.
He's obviously got
And
America
also
at
the
heart.
guy who jacks off to Bigfoot. Vote for him as well.
Oh God.
God, I found out his name yesterday and it was so fucking
fascinating.
ridiculous. I can't remember what it was though. Like Lee Carter posted something about it.
Mm-hmm.
He just said like a quote from the guy and I saw his name and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's his name? And then someone's like, yeah, he also jacks off to Bigfoot. Look it up. And I was like, that's that guy?
That guy.
God damn.
Oh my God. What a
yeah.
world to live in.
Oh yeah. Also, Murphy today was reading this article, and they quoted someone from a company that does like election polls. Which, first of all, the company is called Epic MRA,
Oh my God.
and the person they quoted was named Bernie Porn. Bernie Porn.
Porn. Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great shit. Yeah. So shout out to Murphy for that.
Yeah.
Thanks for finding that article. That's funny as hell. Yeah, so that was the show. If you enjoyed that, if it's your first time, not all of our shows are like this. A
Yeah.
lot of them are
Some
very,
better, some worse.
very serious academic subjects.
Right.
But with cursing.
Yeah. Cursing and boats.
Yeah. We like to be a little naughty sometimes and say the fuck word.
The fuck word.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed that, check out our other episodes. Our website is neighborscience.podbean.com. I got a domain name,
Yes. I was wondering about that today.
but
Podbean.com.
I was having a lot of trouble setting it up because I'm really stupid.
Fart.
I did it through Google domains, and I think that might have been a mistake. Because after I already bought it, I remembered reading something bad about it, but I can't remember
About
what
Google
it was
domains.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I tried to set it up on the Podbean site, and it was like, "Oh, we can't find your DNS record. Sorry." I was like, "Well, I definitely set it up correctly because
You are an unperson.
I vaguely know how DNS works. I'm pretty sure it's correct."
Huh.
But anyway, soon it will be neighborsciencepodcast.com.
Yep.
So just keep trying that until it works.
Yeah.
On Twitter at NeighborSciPod. We're on Facebook and Instagram and Patreon as Neighbor Science, just .com/NeighborScience, at NeighborScience, etc. I'm at Handle of Rye. Chris is at Solidarity_Goth. And and if you like the show, give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. No 4 stars. If you're going to give us a 4-star, go fuck yourself. Don't listen to our podcast ever again.
Yeah.
We don't
Invest
want
in
you here.
something better for your future.
You have
Like
criticisms
suicide.
of you have criticisms of our podcast. Take your criticisms and shove them up your dick hole.
Yeah,
Okay?
right up there. And then write us an angry letter about how it felt.
Yeah. And another thing you could do is tell a friend who's also a nerd like us, that loves economics and business.
Business.
I love business. It's
Anyway.
great. Yeah, tell them about the show. Tell them to listen to it. Blare it out loud at Starbucks and make everyone really mad at you.
Yeah. Wow, these guys sound awkward.
Yeah. Play it in the school library at your university and ruin everyone's studying time.
Yeah.
College is bad anyway. You should just quit and
College is bad.
yeah, lie
Stop
about having a degree
reading.
when you go get a job.
Obey.
No one checks
Obey.
anyway. It doesn't matter. Anyway, that's it. Bye.
All right, bye.